This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Rappaport to the rescue with award-winning animal advocate Jill Rappaport.
Welcome to Rappaport to the Rescue. I'm Jill Rappaport, and I'm broadcasting today from my hometown in Michigan. If my audio sounds a little different, thanks to the wonderful Mark Winter, founder of Pet Life Radio, who said I never do interviews by phone. Well, he allowed me to do one because I'm in a remote area in Michigan, having a lot of trouble with my iPhone and getting the app up. Couldn't do Zoom, couldn't do Skype, so Mark made an exception, and I hope it sounds okay, but I'm so happy to be broadcasting from here because I have not been home in almost a year and a half. I have not seen my wonderful, beautiful mother in that time because of COVID, so I was so thrilled to finally make it back here. We actually drove 12 hours because I'm still a little nervous to get on a plane, and just to see my mother again and to hug her, especially knowing that this weekend is Mother's Day. This is just so wonderful and important to me, and I'm sitting here now with my beautiful sister's dog. He is a rescue dog, of course. His name is Howard. He's a 100-pound Labradoodle, and if I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because he's bearing all his weight on me right now. He's hugging me, and I'm just thrilled to be home. This is such an important time to be able to see our families again. We've all been vaccinated. You feel free to be able to hug someone again that's been vaccinated. What a freeing, wonderful feeling. And my mother has been the most incredible influence on my life. She's absolutely brilliant. She has her doctorate. She raised me to be strong and independent. She nurtured my love of animals, especially rescue animals. She supported every lovely creature I brought into the house as a child, and I'm just so happy to be able to be here again with her. And again, special thanks to Mark Winter for allowing me to do this by phone. Welcome to the old days, right? Anyway, we have a great show today in honor of Mother's Day. We're going to meet the most unusual young man, Sir Darius Brown. He's only 14 years old, but because of his mother's influence and support, this young man has been able to do something for shelter animals that's truly remarkable. He has a company where he actually has made dozens and dozens of unique and beautiful bow ties. And with these bow ties, he features them on shelter animals. He goes to shelters across the country. He puts on these dapper, gorgeous bow ties on different dogs so that they can stand out in hopes of getting a forever home. He's a remarkable person. You're going to hear from him coming up, and his mother, Joy, she really has set the tone for what this young man is all about. She has been such a strong influence on his life, supported him from day one, his passion for animals, his desire to help them. You really see how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So coming up, Sir Darius Brown and his wonderful mother, Joy. Stay tuned.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There's no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Rappaport to the Rescue. I'm Jill Rappaport. I'm very excited today because my guest is truly a 14-year-old phenom who has devoted half of his very young life to helping shelter animals in need, one bow tie at a time. His incredible creative business is called Bows and Paws. And I am so honored to have Sir Darius Brown here, and he is joined by his wonderful mom, Joy Brown. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Darius, we saw each other not so long ago on my show Dog Bowl, where you were a very important feature on the show. We highlighted you. You were on the set with me. It's amazing to think you're only 14 and you've been at this business since you were 8 years old.
Yes, I had this business when I was 8 years old.
And tell me how it started, because it's really unique. These bow ties are so beautiful, and you literally make them for as many shelter animals as you can. Tell me how the idea came to be.
So I feel like the idea came to be was because my sister, she helped me. Anytime when I would come home, she would be on the sewing machine, always making hair bows. And at that time, she was making hair bows for the females, and I basically was making this for the boys. But that's ahead. So unfortunately, when I was younger, I was diagnosed with a speech delay, comprehension delay, and a fine motor skills delay. So it was sort of kind of hard for me to use my hands in some sort of way, or for me to understand people in some sort of kind of way. So I feel like she was sort of kind of scared for me to use the sewing machine because of my fine motor skills. But my mom came up with an amazing idea that if I could cut the fabric, it could also help with my fine motor skills while I'll be able to use the sewing machine.
Even though you had some motor skills and some speech situations that you were dealing with, you thought this was a way not only to help animals, but also to help you.
Yes, it was just like a win-win scenario.
And Joy, we've talked about this several times because I'm always in amazement how this young man has turned out. Obviously, you had such a big impact on him as his mother, and you encouraged him at such a young age to follow his dream.
So he always, Darius has always had like big dreams. And that when he started, like when his sister was sewing and doing everything that she was doing, he always wanted to do what she's doing, And at sometimes certain things I would have to say, you have to hold back a little bit. But with this, he was just determined to want to sew too. So I just felt like, let him get involved some kind of way. So I was like, here, you could just be her assistant. And then after some months, I was like, go ahead, you can go ahead and sew, because he kept asking. And then he like really took to it. It was like natural for him. He wasn't a master sewer, but he did very, very well with instruction. So yeah, anything that he does, I always push and encourage him to go after his dreams. Like there's nothing that's impossible for him, nothing impossible for him. And that's just like, that's his message too, to those who think they're maybe too young or to do something, or maybe if they are lacking in something or have some form of disability, you can always turn that around and find some positive in it.
And Darius, you have always loved animals so much, but how did you come up with the idea of bow ties and shelter pets?
So the idea for coming up with bow ties and shelter pets was because of Hurricane Harvey and Irma. Around that time, there was a lot of destruction, a lot of chaos happening, a lot of people dying. And I'll always see on TV that people was getting help. So I had to sit down and think for a minute. How come there was all these people getting help, but there wasn't any dogs or cats or animals getting help? It's like they was just being ignored. So I saw on social media that dogs are being transported from Texas to New York. So I thought that if people are able to dapper, adorable, and cute on both sides, why can't dogs? So I pretty much decided to go to PCA, and while I was there, I donated some of my bow ties, but I learned there that if dogs stay in the shelter for too long, they could possibly get euthanized. And that really hurt me. I couldn't imagine a person being in that same situation and getting euthanized. So I felt like maybe that I need to help these dogs. So I made it my mission to help as many dogs and cats around the world as possible.
I wish our listeners could see you now, because I know you're wearing one of your own bow ties.
Yes.
They're quite stunning and very fashionable. And I have seen firsthand these bow ties that you give out to shelters across the country. They're beautiful. But the idea was not only to highlight the animal, you want people to notice the dog in a different way so that they can have a better shot of getting a home.
Yes. Basically, my bow ties, I feel like my bow ties should have like a bling or make it look stand out, so that when the person comes in the shelter, the dog will look more noticeable, or like they look more recognizable. So they'll get able to get adopted.
It's amazing. And Joy, how many bow ties would you say that you have given out? How many has this family made and donated?
Oh my God. Oh, I know he started with 25. We really wasn't counting, but if I have to like give a number, I know it's been over 1,000. I know it's been over 1,000 over the past several years. Yeah.
Wow.
He's working on another set right now. He wanted to ship it out towards the end of this month, but it'll probably be next month so he can do a larger batch.
And let's talk about this quote possum mission you're on. I know with COVID, it was detained for a while, but what is your goal?
Yes. So my goal for the Pasta mission is to go to all 50 states around the United States of America and donate all my bow ties to every single last state there.
You want to go to every state in this country and donate your bow ties to at least one shelter in every state.
Yes, but it's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then because of COVID, how many did we go to? We did to like 8 states. We visited 8 states. And then COVID started and then we couldn't go. And then we had to pivot and figure out what to do. And then he was like, we can mail them. And I was like, that's an amazing idea. Yeah.
And you're also involved with the soy dogs. Tell us about that.
So just recently, I partnered with Soy Dog, and what the Soy Dog has helped me and I helped them is that I basically giving them some of my bow ties because they rescue dogs who are coming from places that where they're like free or coming from like harsh conditions. So they're going to be put in animal shelters within different states and then in the United States and different countries. So I'm giving them some of my bow ties to put on the dogs to go there so that they look more noticeable and it just has that effect.
Oh, it's so wonderful. Joy, your son is literally a little celebrity now. He has been on every national show, all the networks, CNN. Every time I read something about him, I'm like, there's Sir Darius Brown again. I know that you have so much faith and confidence in Darius, but aren't you even still a little amazed what he's achieved?
Honestly, yes. It's amazing because I mean, he was just, innocent. Hey, want to help the dogs. And he made this one small thing, something like a bow tie, has made a major impact on so many people. And it's just amazing how much support he's getting, how many dogs he's have helped, and how many people's reaching out, and how many people are now turning from buying dogs or, to actually going to animal shelters and adopting dogs. So it's just amazing the impact and to see everything that he has accomplished at just 14 years old.
And started when he was 8.
Exactly. And we never thought it would become anything like this. Never thought anything like this would happen, but it is amazing. I feel like, and I always tell him, I said, God has a plan for you. God has a plan and you're just divinely aligned to do some amazing things. And it's for the dogs. You're helping the dogs. Who would have known?
Even in any normal setting for a young child to start out with this mission of his heart and to achieve what he has, but considering some of the disabilities Darius had and to defy all odds.
Exactly. Right. That's amazing. I mean, it was rough in the beginning with, even with me. I never doubted him. It's just, worry because you listen to doctors and this is going to happen. And he had a lot of no's and he can't and he won't be able. And I never really, I heard it, but I never really embraced it. And I said, no, not my son. And I always did everything I could to help him overcome all of those no's and all of those who can't, So to see where he started, to know where he started, to see where he is at now. I mean, sometimes I still stop and just cry because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I'm so proud of him.
And obviously you did a real good job with Darius. It says a lot about your mom, doesn't it, Darius?
My mom is like my best friend and day one supporter. I feel like she has helped me with so much along with this process, and without her, I wouldn't be.
Oh, that's so beautiful. When I tell people I'm interviewing Sir Darius Brown, tell us how you got that name. Were you knighted by the Queen?
So I feel like with the name Sir, everybody who knows me, well, and my friends and my family, they either call me King or Sir.
I like that.
And King was coming like a little bit more common. So I want to use something different, and I like the name Sir with my name. So I just called myself Sir Darius Brown.
Oh, and everybody knows that name now. Well, I just feel so honored to have met you, to have worked with you. And I have to tell you, Joy, last time I sat with Darius, it was about a year and a half ago. I really think your speech and the way you talk now has come a long way, even in the last year and a half.
Yes, most definitely. I've seen a lot of growth in him. It's like doing a lot of interviews and speaking and talking, and even like, working from home and writing and reading. Amazing growth. Amazing growth. Amazing growth. I'm so proud of him. He's so determined and motivated. He's an overachiever. I will, not just saying being his mom, just looking at him. He's an overachiever. I always tell him, I wish I can be like you when I grow up.
Isn't that wonderful? And Darius, you've already achieved so much in your very young life. What is on your young bucket list?
So I feel like what's on my young bucket list is to maybe expand my horizon and expand my business and go into making more things other than just bow ties, such as like pet clothing or different pet designs. Also am interested in working on making pet foods, and I'm currently working on making a book. So I feel like, and there's other things that's coming as well. But then my main goal is to have like a safe house or a fun house for dogs, so that when they like go there to the animal shelter, they could go to my animal shelter, and while they're there, they're gonna have fun and a safe place of love and care, so that when the person comes in to adopt them, it's gonna be like a win-win situation. They're gonna have fun while they come in and the fun while they leave.
I love it. Sir Darius's Fun House for Pets, right?
I love it.
That is a great ambition.
That's a good one.
And knowing him, Joy, he's going to attain it.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. He talks about that all the time. He talks about it all the time. So it's coming. It's coming.
You better start looking for some real estate.
Definitely.
And so these bow ties are not only making a great fashion statement, they're literally saving lives.
Right. Exactly. And that's the amazing part. Dogs are finding their homes. People are finding their fur babies and their companions. And it's really great because he's been getting a lot of touching stories, about, there has been several times where people saw a dog that Darius posted on Instagram, and then they contacted the shelter and they went to adopt the dog. They did the application process and everything went through, and they were able to adopt the dog. So those were very heartfelt. And one happened during the inauguration as well. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know you were part of the inauguration, which obviously was honoring the Biden dog, the first shelter dog in the White House. And you played a role in that event, didn't you, Darius?
Yes, so I was actually a speaker there, and I was actually able to make all the dogs who were getting indicted to the dog inauguration. I all gave them bow ties, and then I also was able to send one to Major Jim's dog. So it was such a amazing and such a fun experience for me. So I was just very blessed to be there.
Well, this has been such a joy for me because I have to tell you, Darius, you are such an inspiration, not only for all of mankind, but especially our young generation, for young people to look at you and what you have achieved at 14 years old, starting at a very young age, is really just mind-boggling and makes me feel so good that there's young people in the world like you. And Joy, kudos. What a great mom you are. What a great job you've done. And continued wonderful work. I hope to work with you again on so many projects. And maybe I can be there for the ribbon cutting for the Sir Darius Brown Funhouse.
Oh, definitely.
We're going to do that, okay?
Yes. Definitely.
We just have to envision it and it will happen.
There you go. It's going to happen.
And what a perfect show that we have on right before Mother's Day, because as you heard, this woman, Joy Brown, truly epitomizes what a wonderful, supporting, loving mother truly is. And I know I'll be giving my mom an extra special hug this weekend. Hopefully all of you will be fortunate enough to be with your wonderful moms. Stay safe. And thank you for tuning in to Rappaport to the Rescue.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.